Healing is supposed to become at some point a state of being that you inhabit. So healing has an end, has the beginning. There's obviously the process is not linear, but there are 3 markers that I want you to become aware of so you can see where you are actually on your healing journey, and whether if you test yourself against these markers, you're going to be able to see, okay, which things in my internal life I still maybe need to readjust to come closer to that healed state of being. Because healed state of being is literally you being a adult who can discern and who can build and create the life that they want. That is literally that. So you're no longer healing, you're basically in the process of building and creation. And of course, a lot of the people who are on the healing journey, they are already building and creating. So I would definitely suggest to actually start with that. So, because this is the marker number 1. A person who is healed and who is inhabiting that healed state of being knows their values, knows their purpose, has some belief system, and that belief system could be religion, could be spirituality, could be actually, any philosophy of life that you find relevant to you. So there is no right or wrong in a way. It's just basically what appeals to you as a person, and what doesn't. So you can build your own, philosophy that is a mixture of, different philosophical influences, or, again, different spiritual influences, different religious influences. So, and this is really important, because once you know your values, once you know your purpose, and once you have your own philosophy of life in a way, then it's way easier to orient yourself in life and to have a direction in life. Because without that, the spine of your values, of the purpose, and of, like I said, the general life philosophy and what you believe in and what you don't believe in, it's almost like you're always like wavering, and people can really influence you very quickly. So for example, I don't know, someone can say, actually, this belief system that you believe in, this is actually wrong. I believe in something else, and what I believe in is correct. That's, and then you might start having doubts. But if you are really grounded in what you believe in, if you know your values and if you know your purpose, then other people's opinions are literally, it's not that they are irrelevant, because we can have, healthy discussions with other people about a lot of things. Yeah, this is what the healthy discussion is for, to, be sometimes confronted in a respectful way. But the point being is that your identity isn't threatened by that. So that identity, that state of being, is not threatened by other people's opinions, by other people's, maybe saying something like, oh, what you believe in is rubbish. You are so grounded and actually confident within yourself that other people's opinions are not a threat. And you also don't see them as, oh my God, I have to fight against them, I have to push against them. Not necessarily. When you actually become healed, other people's opinions are actually their opinions, and they're coming from their own state of being, and that is okay. And you don't feel the need to almost convert them. You don't feel the need to make them more healed, or maybe, all this stuff. That is still almost like you trying to force your values, purpose, life philosophy onto other people. So that is marker number 1. So think about where you are on your journey. Do you have your values? Do you have your own life philosophy? Are you building already something because there is, there is a certain purpose, there's a certain direction that you've chosen in your life, and whatever that building is, again, it's really up to you. But see where you are when it comes to that, and this is really important. And that really takes a lot of sometimes coming through some funny rabbit holes, because of course spirituality, religion, philosophy, there's just so many different, I guess, frameworks and ideas around it, but stay curious and find something that actually really appeals to you, and build something that actually appeals to you. So that's a marker number one. Then when it comes to marker number two, that is your actual relationship with your body and your actual emotional capacity. So how well you can hold your own emotions, and also how you are relating to your different emotional states that will be 100% activated when you are living the life, because our nervous system is supposed to be triggered and activated by life, because this is the purpose of life, to kind of activate us, so then we are moving in life, yes, and therefore life is flowing. So, you know, the questions are, can you hold grief, but also can you hold joy? A lot of the times what I notice is that people on the healing journeys, they make this mistake and they think that they, you know, that the only range in their nervous system for their emotional capacity, what they need to build, is for those uncomfortable emotions like anger, like grief, or fear. But actually, our brains have been wired also to build a range in emotions like care, play, seeking, and these are, you know, based on the neuroscience, but we can, you know, think about love, you can think about creativity, we can think about joy. And this is really important to build the capacity in your nervous system, so you're able to hold these emotions in the body. So not talking about them, but I talked about these. I talked about the problem with talking about your emotions in my previous videos. So it's not about talking, it's about actually feeling the emotion, feeling the emotional states. And a lot of people who are intellectuals, they have huge problem with not talking actually about their emotions, because that is actually their comfort zone. It's actually properly feeling them in the body on the somatic level, allowing them to flow through them without actually impulsively reacting. Because this is, again, this is the mastery of your nervous system, when you're allowing the emotion to run its course in your body without impulsively reacting. And then when action is needed, when action needs to be taken, you take it, you do take it. So that is the nervous system range. So you're able to feel the whole rainbow, the whole plethora of emotions. And that, again, is really almost like fueling the life purpose and what you're building already. So let's say if if we come back to the marker number one, marker number two is the fuel that is helping you to build and create the life that you want, because we need emotions to almost like, to give us that motivation, quote unquote, because, emotions are basically that energy in the body that wants to move, that wants to be felt, wants to be expressed in different ways, and that is really important. So the nervous system range is and your relationship to your own emotion and your own emotional states, that is marker number two. And marker number three, your relationship to your conscious mind. So how are you relating to your own thoughts? And that, again, is very much linked to marker number one and marker number two, because when you have a regulated nervous system that has the range, when you have life purpose, when you have your own life philosophy, your relationship with your thoughts is going to be very stable. It's going to be very, not even strategic, because it's not about the strategy. Some thoughts you will just naturally not gonna even, you're gonna laugh at certain thoughts. When you're gonna have certain thoughts that, let's say, are funky or whatever that is, not to maybe go into like any specific examples, but if you're going to have the thoughts that is, let's say, not beneficial or not useful for you at this time in your life, you're just going to discard it, and you're not going to be fighting against it. You're not going to be overthinking about why you have this thought, like what has actually happened, that no, you're just going to be like, it's just a thought, that's it. So the way you are relating to your conscious mind is very healthy. And I want you to guys remember one thing, because the neuroscience says that it is the emotions that are actually coming first. The conscious mind is way behind. we really think that our conscious mind is the driver of a lot of things, but actually it is, we have emotions before a conscious thought. We're gonna attach an idea to that emotional sensation that we have. So you have a raw physical sensation in the body that stems from one of the 7 emotional systems that you have in your brain. The chemistry of one of these or few of these emotional systems travels to your nervous system. That happens within like nanoseconds. You feel a sensation, and then your conscious mind, a lot of the times very habitually, attaches meaning to these emotional states. So conscious mind and your relationship with your conscious mind and using your conscious mind with discernment is crucial, because then you might actually dysregulate your own nervous system with very unuseful, not beneficial, not very good for you thoughts. Because thoughts are, the neuroscience does not know where the actual thoughts coming from, but we do know that, let's say, the mind will be very reactive to the feelings, because it's almost like, oh my God, the feeling, what does it mean? What do we have to do? Like, that is a dysregulated nervous system and a dysregulated conscious mind. So you have to start, training your conscious mind to not attach a meaning straight away to your emotional state. This is, again, essential on your healing journey, and that is the marker number 3. So I want you to really remember that, this is science. So there's nothing here that is, fluffy and based on nothing knowledge. It's just a knowledge that that comes from neuroscience and science as such, that your physical sensations are first, and then your mind is attaching the meaning. So this is, and that's why your conscious mind is marker number 3, and the health and the maturity of your conscious mind is crucial on your healing journey. So the framework for the measurement where you are on your healing journey: values, purpose, life philosophy, marker number 1. Marker number 2, your emotional range, so your nervous system capacity range, and conscious discernment, so how your relationship with your conscious mind, that is number 3. If you need help on your healing journey, because maybe you want to, sharpen your discernment, or maybe you need some help with building your emotional range, whatever that is, you can book a session with me. You've got the links down below. I also got a couple of like a PDF based courses. One of them is about aesthetics, so you can treat it's like a neuroaesthetics, so it's about like how aesthetics are actually impacting your unconscious mind and your conscious mind as well, and the relationship between the two. So if you're interested in that, you can buy that as well on my website. There's another one which is more about Yak Panskep and 7 emotional systems. Again, both of these are very practical as well, so it gives you knowledge, but it also gives you exercises, so you can check these out. If you're not sure, just book a session with me, and also like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.